Pulling up both.
All right, so Alicia just got a estimate back,
Two.
two estimates back for her house. They're planning to do a 600 square foot addition off the rear of the property. And we are getting close. Well, she's getting close to finalizing plans.
No, because I'm not doing this without your support.
Moral
So,
support. I'm
so
behind the camera today, but I'm here. All right, so she's going to review an estimate and we're going to go over a few things since a lot of you guys are probably going through an ADU addition or remodel or something and you are struggling to understand an estimate. So that's what we're going to review today. How to understand an estimate for construction or for a remodel or for a new build. So,
well, that is the question. How do we understand this? So I got two estimates and they were very close in price. One was for $203,000. The other one was for $205,000. But the difference between the two is that the most recent one gave allowances for things and it included extras. So
we all like extras.
we do like extra. So the second one that came in at $205,000, that includes custom kitchen cabinetry, as opposed to the first one that basically was like, we will put together prefab stuff, like order it off the shelf, it comes in boxes, and we will assemble it and install it. That's what's included. Anything extra, so even like
a toilet,
yes,
a mirror.
Well, speaking of the kitchen specifically, it was like anything above a 6-inch riser. Like the standard 6-inch riser that comes with it was going to be an extra cost.
All right.
So that was one thing. Also in this other one, I noticed I was going through it a little bit today. And if I'm not, again, we're talking about understanding this. So I'm definitely going to have some follow-up questions for the contractor. But one of the things in here, so under windows and doors, it says windows provided up to $400 each. So does that mean if I source doors that are like 200? No, I'm thinking less.
Oh,
if I can find cheaper doors, does that take money off the total amount?
Save you money.
Does that
reduce the estimate?
Exactly. Does that if I can find if I had a window hookup somewhere? I don't. I mean, unless someone has a window hookup. But like if I had a window hookup and I can find them for half the price that they're allotting me, does that mean I get money back? Like I'm not paying the full amount?
I'm going to say maybe a little bit.
Yes.
Because it's the same amount of work to install an expensive door versus a cheap door. So if you're only getting 4 doors and you save $100 in each, that's $400.
Okay.
So really it's not.
I see what you're saying. It's not a big difference. But then we get into other things like, where was it? It was like the bathrooms or something. And so it said included a $700, up to $700 for a vanity.
That's a nice vanity.
That is, so that would definitely pay for a vanity in the office bathroom.
You also have that vanity at mom's.
I know, I do. Which
is it a little one?
Yeah, it's like the one in this one. It's the exact same one. So I'm thinking that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'll sell it to use the money to put it towards
take it.
or I let Daniel have it. Either one. But yeah, there's just some of these things in the second quote that I'm like, oh, this is included. This is included.
Let's go over the quote.
Okay.
Enough hoopla.
Okay. So the first item is project management, general requirements. So it's saying that there's a project manager and they're going to be handling contractor scheduling, maintain a safe job site, daily housekeeping, and make sure they're compliant with
standard
the LADBS.
This is what you could expect with a licensed and bonded contractor. There's definitely precautions that have to be upheld around the work environment.
The only thing I kind of wish this quote had, which I feel like the first quote had, is like, I wish it was like demo and a cost. Gotcha. Where he's breaking down the work, but he's not breaking down each number. Yeah, he's not breaking down the cost of each. So
gotcha.
Demo per the plans, and then concrete work per the plans. And this is, I think, something that maybe most people, if they're going to do an addition or like work on their house, they're probably thinking of is, well, okay, this is what the plans say, but this is what I want.
Right.
So according to
It
the
happens a lot.
yes, because according to the plans, yes, we're gonna need basically a step down out of our back, right? Like we're gonna have a 9-foot
A landing.
yeah, a 12-foot bifold door. We're gonna need a landing. We're gonna need a step down. That's in the plans.
Right.
But now the side of our house is going to be longer to get to the back,
Right.
and I want that area cemented or cemented, and it's not in the plans.
Price went up.
Right. So no joke, I am like, can I save money here so I could spend here?
I see.
Like constantly, right? Another thing, our house needs to be painted. It hasn't been painted in like 20, 30
Price went up.
years, right? But they're in here, it says they're going to paint the addition to match the rest of the house. But I'm like, what about the rest of the house?
Price went up. These are things you got to pay attention to, because something as simple as changing out a sink involves multiple trades touching that product.
Yes.
If the specific contractor is not comfortable with it, you got to get a plumber. You may have to get a cabinet guy. You may have to get the stone guy to remove the stone. So it's like, oh, I want to change a sink, but what's involved with touching the sink and removing it?
Yes.
Which is why things can get so costly when looking at an estimate given to you by a contractor.
So, and I also think it just comes down to like truly what's important and like the small details. So yesterday when I met with the contractors at my house, he made a comment about our hardwood floors. They're original to the house and they're okay. They're not in great condition. They're okay. But because we are adding on and there's going to be this open space, like I need the floors to match, right? So I'm like, no, we'll get rid of the old floors and just have new flooring throughout. And I specifically asked him if we could lay the new flooring on top of our old hardwood. And he said yes. But then in the estimate, it says removal of flooring. So that's something I want to double check. It's like, wait, are you charging me to remove all this flooring, or can we
save money?
You save money. Other minor things. It's like I have a very clear design style. Okay. Some of the vanities that I'm looking at that I like, they come they come with a counter.
Oh, I see.
So I'm like, can I live with this? Can I live with this stone? That wouldn't be necessarily my first choice. Or am I going to spend $1,000 more to have somebody fabricate stone?
And maybe more than that.
Yes.
Find the stone, fabricate it,
yes.
Install it. So it can get expensive.
Yes.
Maybe you focus money on your bathroom and the bathrooms you're not going to see often.
I agree.
So for those of you watching, if you have a half bathroom or a full bath that services guests and it's not as important as your primary, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Just get it functioning. I think as Americans, we worry about looks over function.
Yeah.
And then we tend to hurt our pocketbook for that same reason.
I agree.
But it's like, hey, if it works, if it's not bad, if it's in style, run with it until it breaks.
No, I agree with you. So in the vanity I was looking at for our office bathroom, it had like a man-made, like some kind of weird faux stone, a faux stone. But I'm like,
some of that stuff's ugly.
Some of it is, but I'm like, maybe I can live with it because that bathroom's not really going to get used. It's a guest, office.
Right.
So it's a guest bedroom / office.
Yeah,
so
no one's going to see that.
No one's going to see it. So it's like, I could live with that. The vanity I'm looking at for our bathroom, it's quartz. Okay. Wouldn't be my first choice, but it's a nice white quartz.
Yeah,
Can I really complain? Leave it.
Right.
So I think it
works.
Some of these, another thing that like kind of stood out on the quote was potentially having to upgrade our AC unit, and that along with other things was $17,000. But we have a buddy who does AC units, so it's like, okay, maybe I won't do.
But 17, that's like the cost of a new installation. I don't understand.
So that's again a question mark as to why we have to follow up to see what exactly this includes. But if that's their price, we can go somewhere else to get it
Right.
done.
So the importance of looking at a estimate and a scope of work. Well, first off, they're two different things. So your estimate is going to just be a generalized overview of the work involved in relation to what you're doing. A scope of work is going to break down each trade and section of the home. So let's take the kitchen for example. What's your estimate, or what does the contractor say for the kitchen? Let's use a real life example.
He doesn't have a price. He just says this includes a 3D layout design for the kitchen cabinets, new custom kitchen cabinets, and then he gave us a amount for bathroom vanities, but that was it.
And that's the budget for the kitchen. That's all it says for kitchen.
Yeah, he doesn't give a price, which is interesting.
So scope of work for kitchen would be something to, run rough in plumbing, run rough in electrical, plan distances for your island since you're getting one, right? Determine backsplash design, stone design, cabinet design, style of sink,
range hood,
placement of lighting. Do you want a air gap for your garbage disposal? Do you even want a garbage disposal? Appliance locations. So your scope of work in relation to an estimate is going to vary dramatically. So it's really important to clarify the scope of work involved. And you should actually maybe write down notes and say, well, this is what I want the kitchen to look like. What's it going to take to get to this kitchen? So then you can have that conversation with the contractor. And for those of you watching, you guys need to have that conversation with your contractor, because something as simple as, why is my spice rack 10 feet away from the oven, is going to be a big detail when the build gets too far in down the line and something has to be moved. Because a change order can easily be like $2-3 grand.
I agree.
Once it's too far.
I feel like I plug this in every once in a while, but I do think this is where we're at an advantage, and this is where you should hire a designer, because it's
Consult with us.
Truly you're thinking of functionality of everything. So, and I'm not saying that a contractor cannot help you with this, but in most cases you need someone else to be like, this is where the stove is going to be. I need this drawer to have this, and I need this shelf to have this. And here's the fridge. I need to be able to open the fridge and turn around and place milk somewhere, or whatever the case may be, and distances, and all of that matters. And I think I already have such a strong sense of how things should be. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to get it wrong, but I think because I already have enough knowledge that I can ask those questions, right? It's like something as simple as, I already have it thought of, hey, this is where our kitchen sink is going to go. So this is our trash. This is our kitchen sink. This is our dishwasher. Boom, 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 right? Like there's order. You don't want your dishwasher 5 feet behind you from the kitchen sink, or the trash can somewhere else far away. And the trash is by the back door. So then we grab the trash and we just walk on out the back door. So all of these things matter. And I think what I liked about these guys that I met with yesterday is that one of them kept saying communication's key, communication's key. And I think that's huge. It's like, yes, so I'm going to print this out and write all my questions in the margins. So then we can sit down and be like, can you explain what this means exactly?
Right.
Is this mean I can pick a vanity up to $700 and then anything over I'm responsible for paying for? What does this mean exactly? Things like that. Because, things vary, right? We were talking about toilets yesterday. You could buy a $200 toilet, or you can buy a $5,000 toilet that warms your butt. Like, you don't have to touch it. Warms your butt. Sings music, shoots water up your butt. Like, it dries you. You just get up and go.
What a pleasant experience.
I know. I want to be that rich for a $5,000 toilet.
Why is he taking his fifth dump today?
Because it's so enjoyable.
I want to feel the butt warmer.
Yeah, I want to feel a warm butt. So yeah, definitely get multiple estimates.
And
Go
compare the two.
compare them, go through them, ask your questions. There's no silly question. I have a million.
Right.
Um,
And what I caught, well, I don't know if I caught it yet because I haven't looked at the second estimate, is the first estimate you got talks about soils engineering. So you got to look into the second guy in the soils engineering
okay.
and the plumbing
Okay.
in regards to running the plumbing around the house, since Alicia and Alex are installing a new bathroom on a lower elevation than the existing home. They are trying to determine the quickest way and the correct way to drain that plumbing to the street. So option one is cut through the garage, come under the house, and tie into the existing plumbing. Option two is trench all the way around the house and then tie into the main plumbing in the front yard.
He did look in the garage yesterday and he says he doesn't think it's a problem to cut through the garage.
Oh,
That's what he said yesterday. And he said from our kitchen sink in the back, he said he believes he's like there's going to be enough slope. That's
I would
not going
think
to
so.
that's not going to be an issue. And he's like, "Well, just cut through your garage," which is what we kind of planned for.
That's what I
And
initially
I said I
thought.
was like, "Oh, that's what my brother said." So yeah. Yeah, it's all the details.
Easy peasy. Yeah. Yeah, when the second guy wanted to run, I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
What, like 80 feet
Yeah.
versus maybe 25 feet.
To go through
I
there.
would think we would have enough slope, 25 feet, to tie into the main under the house, but I'm no plumber.
Yeah.
I'm just a YouTube warrior.
But yeah, definitely get multiple bids. Ask all of your questions. There's nothing silly. And oh, I like this guy gave me a payment schedule kind of already on how things are going to be, which I think is super important. Like broke it down. There's 18 payments.
And
18.
please only pay the people who are doing the work. So if the contractor is handling the entire job, pay the contractor. If they're subbing out a plumber, and they say pay the plumber directly, pay the plumber directly. But whomever you hire or employ, take direction from that person. Don't deviate. If someone says pay me this, talk to your contractor first to make sure that sub or that individual is getting compensated. So we have seen it in the past where money gets like moved around and people are saying I need money for this, and you end up paying double and people are shady. So just be cautious out there.
Yeah, and then that's something else that kind of makes me feel good about this is this there's 18 payments and none of them are over 25 grand. It's not like one day he's going to be like, give me $50,000
Right.
or something crazy. He's like, I will only be asking for money for the work that we are doing. And that is it.
Right.
To pay what we're
That's
doing,
super important.
to pay what we're doing, and then we move on to the next process. And another point I want to make is he said he's very familiar with like working in our city and how it works through the city to work with them and permits and all of those things, which is just something that it's like, okay, good.
How much have you spent so far without paying for permits? Just so people can have an understanding. For a 600 square foot addition in Pico Rivera, how much are you into this?
Through our hold on.
Plans, like
Probably
architect.
like 10 grand.
10 grand already, and we haven't even touched the hammer.
We haven't done any.
So just be prepared that in California, you're probably going to be, depending on your area, 20,000, 30,000 before smashing a nail into anything. So,
and something we learned through this process, and not just with the city of Pico, like other cities have a similar rule, is that anything over 500 square feet, there's like an additional fee. So originally we were doing everything we could to stay under 500, like $499, to not pay the additional fee. And we just couldn't do it. We felt like we were compromising too much on what we wanted for our home. So we are doing 600 square feet. So that means now we have to pay, I forget what it is, like a certain amount.
It was like extra
Per,
couple grand, right?
yeah,
It's like it's like
I
a
think it ends,
percentage, huh?
I think it ends up being $3,000, like a one-time fee of $3,000, but that's because we went over $100,000
Where does that
over the
money
limit
go?
to the school.
Stupid school. Just drop out, kids.
Goes to the school, which I want to see where it goes to exactly. But yeah,
Might
I
as well go grab $3,001 bills and just chuck them at the kids
I
and
know.
watch them fight each other for them.
I something. I'm like, where is this exactly going? I would like to see this like school fund and where the money goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's conclude this. Do you want to say anything else before I get out of here?
No, I would say ask all the questions. There's no stupid question. Talk to multiple people. Reach out to your sphere of influence. If people have had work done on their house, ask them how their experiences, what they like, what they dislike. I can't tell you. I've taken a measuring tape to my friend's house and being like, "Do you like the distance between your two countertops?" And she's like, "No, that's not enough space." Like, good to know. She has 3 feet. We got to go bigger than 3 feet. Okay. Do you like the size of your island? We consulted on a property, I want to say a couple years ago, and we kind of made some suggestions that they decided not to take, not to move forward with. And then afterwards, when I was like, how do you feel about the overall design? Would you change anything? And interesting enough, the few things that they would change were the suggestions that we made. So I think, reaching out to people who have like lived in a space after it's done to see what they like and dislike, it might, and I know everybody lives differently in their homes, but it might just give you some insight to how to move forward with your project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. See you on the next video.
Bye.